bus tour in St. Kitts. It was kind of like sketchy and missed at first, but then it turned out to be all right. I think.
Yeah, we were so happy to know other people. Yep.
Yeah, they were like, oh, pay me all of it now.
And I'm like,
and then he was like, oh no, just 10 now. Yeah, well, 20. Oh, see, he told us, he's like, just 10 now, months later. But at first he's like, it was all 50, all 50. And I was like, oh boy. Okay, so, well, at least we have like-minded people on here. So, but yeah, okay, check it out later. Yeah, well, we got it for vlog.
That's to my left, our Treasury building. Now to my right, this is our government headquarters. That's with our national flag they're flying. Straight in front of us, we have social security. Now, in order to claim social security, you have to put in order to get out. It's 62. That's when we give our social here at St. Kitts. Now here to my left hand side, these are called white-beaked birds. And the reason why these birds put the nest into a crusher tree is to prevent the young one from rats and mongoose from eating the young one out the nest. Now back in the 16th and the 17th centuries, we also have snakes here on this island of St. Kitts. But the mongoose were brought in by the French, and the mongoose kill all the snakes. Not there. Right. Not you know.
Can you put it back in?
Not there.
It's really good.
Yeah, you're right about that. I'm gonna take a picture of you guys stand beside it. Say we survived. But we're not done yet.
That would be hilarious.
Not done yet. Morning.
Hi.
And we're on a bus tour and it's interesting.
God. Crazy.
So, but yeah, it's been all right.
18 head-on collisions.
It's been all right though.
It's been good.
So let's get some footage where we stopped here.
Did it turn off?
Wow. Damn. That is awesome. Hey guys, what's up? We're at a beach. I don't know what beach it is. I didn't listen.
No idea.
But yeah. There's the view. We're not getting into water. But
No.
we're just looking and oh. Sorry. So yeah.
This has been our day.
Yep. Interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
Club for the first time.
Seeing our first PG rated.
Roy and Amanda shows. Our friends at Little Loca said that these are actually better than the rated R shows, so we're checking
it
one
out.
It only took us
I'm
5 days
skeptical.
to get. It only took us 5 days to get here, because we love lewd comedy. So, but yeah. Okay, we'll let you know how it is afterwards. Bye. Hey guys, this is Josh.
And Michelle.
And we are Adventures Ahead. Today we wanted to do this video. This is current time. We wanted to do a review of St. Kitts because it was very interesting. So we're going to go over the pros and the cons of St. Kitts in this video that you've just watched. Let's start off on a good foot. Let's start off on the pros. Okay, the pros of St. Kitts. The views
Amazing.
are awesome. As you can see in some of the pictures, Like on one of those where the two oceans meet.
It's the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, like where they meet at that hill. I actually stood up on top of that hill, and I didn't get any footage, but I got some cool pictures. I don't know why I didn't record. I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, I was just like,
in awe.
Yeah, in awe of the view, and I was up there. Michelle didn't want to climb up there because she was scared, but I didn't care
because I was too scared. I couldn't.
I didn't care because, like, when am I ever going to experience that again? I needed that experience, and I got it, and it was.
I experienced it my own way.
I stood there and just went, and like breathed it in and like felt it, man. It was great.
Another pro of St. Kitts, the bus tour that we took. Only $15 a person. No, was it?
No.
Oh, that was $25. It's still pretty cheap.
Yeah, it was cheaper. $25 each. The 15 was.
Oh yeah, sorry, $25.
Yeah. So there's that. Also, we got to get a picture taken with a really cute monkey. That was cute. You guys saw that in the last video. Also, we played in a casino.
Yeah.
In a casino right in the port at St. Kitts. So we're like, when are we gonna ever play at a casino like on like a different place than like whatever? So
Another
we went and
we got to experience more local flavor than maybe other tour buses got to. And we'll explain that.
And also another pro was the people on our tour. The people behind us, funny.
Oh, people in
really
front of us
people,
and next to us.
Yep, everybody was cool
except for this one lady.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like...
She was a jerk.
Yeah, but she sat... she sat in the front, so we didn't really interact with her. But the family sitting in front of us and beside us, and then the people behind us, awesome. People.
And then there's also another family from the United Kingdom.
Right, yep, and they were nice too. Talked to them at the beach, so... Yeah. But yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's any other pros. Oh, I tasted sugarcane.
Oh yeah,
those sugarcane things that you just chew on. I think it's in the video.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I don't know, but yeah, I tasted that for the first time. It was all right.
So to recap our pros, probably number one for both of us is the amazing views.
Yeah, like, awesome views.
If you're going to Puerto Rico
she's got Puerto Rico on the mind.
St. Kitts for the views, you're going for the right reasons.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Let's.
Okay, so now we're gonna go with the cons. I feel like the people, not the people on the island, but like the vendors and stuff, shady.
Pushy.
Yeah, and shady. The guy that got his pictures taken with the monkeys, like told me one price, and then when we had the pictures taken, he had my phone, and then he's like, no, it's this price. So I'm like,
he said $10 for both of us, and we verified that with him.
And then he said, no,
$20 each.
And then he had my phone. Whoa. So I'm like, okay, I just paid the man because I wanted my phone back.
Yeah.
So, because he was taking the pictures or whatever. So I was like, okay, whatever. And that was shady. The bus tour guy was shady.
So we kind of felt really pressured into booking this. We walked up to him. He's like, I don't know.
No, he walked up to us.
Oh, yeah.
For starters.
He, like, called us.
Yeah, he's like, hey, come look at this. He,
chased us down, I think.
He's like, hey, come look at this. And he shows pictures of the bus. And there's a bunch of people, like, on the picture of the bus. They're like, yeah!
The bus didn't look anything like the picture bus did in real life.
Nope. And then he's like, go over... And then he's like...
He wanted all the money up front. Yeah. And I'm like,
he's like, I want all 50.
Giving you $50.
And we said, no, we're not going to give you all 50 right now. He's like, okay, well, just 10 each then. So we gave him 20. And then he's like, okay.
No, we gave him just $10.
Oh, I thought we gave him 10 each.
No.
Okay, whatever. So then he's like, go stand over there by the jewelry place, and I'll come get you when I have enough people. Okay. So here we are. There's no one else there. So we're like, oh my God. Like, we're going to be the only people on this rickety bus. Like, oh, we didn't know it was a rickety bus then. Yeah, we're like, oh, this guy's going to run away.
We should leave. That's what we were thinking.
No, Michelle wanted to. She said, oh, maybe we should just leave, and then we'll only be out $10. I said, no, we ain't losing $10.
Josh is cheap.
So, I'm not cheap. I wouldn't gamble a bunch of money the night before.
I know, but anyway.
So then we see him talking to a bunch of people. Then we finally see him.
He's like, come with us.
And then, like, all of a sudden, he had people sign up, and then he's like, hey, over here. But a different place than he told us to stand. And there's actually people there waiting. So we are like, okay, cool. So we talked to these people. We're like, oh, we're glad to have people on here. And they were like, yeah, we're glad to have people on here, too.
We get to the bus, though. It's like a Cool Runnings bus. Yeah, it's rusted out, crickety.
Yeah, it's old. It's like
it's squeaking. I'm like,
old.
Are these we're big people. Are these rusty stairs gonna hold us?
And it was. I mean, it wasn't like a really tight fit, but it was just. I mean, getting up the little stairs and making your way to the thing was a little bit of a challenge. But yeah, everything else was fine. Got in there.
So
sat.
we get on the bus. The guy comes around, collects money from people.
Doesn't talk to us at all.
I'm trying to give him money. I'm in my, I wear that thing.
He doesn't talk to us at all.
He doesn't talk to us at all. He gets money from everybody else.
Right.
Right? So you'll need that for later in the story.
So then we got on the bus, and we're driving around, and it's just like, he's kind of...
bus driver
And he's showing us, like, the slums. Like, it wasn't a nice area.
People are yelling at us in the downtown area.
Yeah.
Everybody knows our bus driver.
Yeah. Yes, they do. Everybody's like, hey, da, da. And also...
Josh witnessed something interesting.
Oh, yeah. And then there's just guys, like, washing his car, and then all of a sudden, the bus driver stops
in the middle of the road.
And he's like, hey, come over here. And they go like this, and I seen something exchange...
And Josh is, of course, staring.
I'm looking, because I was like, and the other guy standing outside was like looking at me. He's like, hey, he's like looking at me, and I'm like,
he pointed at you.
Yeah, he pointed at me. I'm like, and then the bus driver just took off. I was like, oh boy, what I just see. But that's that. Then the bus driver drives around a little bit more in like not the greatest area. He's like talking, but when he's talking, it sounds like. This is no more pair. No more Yeah, it sounded like that.
About Social Security.
It wasn't like in Puerto Rico where you could understand what the guy was saying. Like totally, like it wasn't. I'm not talking about the way he spoke English or
like
whatever. It was his speaker system sucked, Michelle. It was his speaker system. It sucked. So we also after driving around,
some little kid.
Yeah, we picked up some little kid, random kid, and he rode in the front. He rode in the front with a guy.
Somebody said, "Hey, is that your kid?" He said, "No."
He's like, "No, it's just
no explanation."
Right. We stopped at his house, and he got out, ran inside.
And he was like, "Oh, it's a bathroom break."
Yeah, he says it's a bathroom break. He runs inside. This other lady gets off the bus.
That we don't like.
She gets off the bus and she's waiting.
She's like, "Oh, I need to go in your house."
And he's like, "No, no one else can go in, just me." And they're like, "What?" And she's like, "I have to go to the bathroom." And he's like, "Oh, you wait till later." And she gets back.
Hard pass on that.
Yeah, I mean, he went in his house and he was in there, and then came out. Then he, and then
we go like in the rainforest. We have to pay for a bathroom,
right?
Which was fine. I don't want to use that dude's bathroom.
No, we had to pay for a bathroom. That was fine. And then we drove around, and then he started taking us to more scenic stuff after the rainforest. Yeah. And we got to see the ocean. We got to see the cruise ship from afar. And that was great. That was really good.
And then he started taking us to nice areas.
Right. But then also, these people on St. Kitts drive like maniacs. So, seriously, they drive like maniacs. And, yeah, it's just like...
Head-on collision.
Yeah,
almost.
Seriously. Like, yeah.
And if they're going around a blind corner, they don't care. They're just blowing their horn.
Yeah, they just honk their horn. Like, that's how they notify you.
Going 85.
Yep, that's how they notify you. So, and it was nuts, man. Michelle couldn't look a lot of the times because it was crazy. And we got so close to the sides. and these guys aren't driving slow. They're driving really fast.
I'm getting anxiety just thinking about it.
They're driving really fast, aren't they?
So then, at the end, there's this young girl sitting next to us, and when we're driving back to, like, through the slums again, these guys are, like, catcalling her almost. Like, it was really,
I didn't see any of it.
I did. And so did her parents.
I didn't see any of it.
He was like, "Hey, you!" And I'm like, "Don't look at him."
And they took us to a beach. So. Oh,
yeah.
But okay, we were going with the cons, but like basically like
that was all cons.
Yeah, that was all cons.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
I mean, not the whole thing. It was a fun experience. It's funny to look at now.
Right.
Oh.
What was that
con? To tell when we got off
We went to the beach, and that was a con because it was boring.
No, when we got off, so they didn't collect our money at first.
Oh yeah,
so then when we get off the tour bus, we're like, oh, okay, so we're just I don't know what to do.
Well, and then we just got off the tour bus, and then he's like,
We kind of hang around.
and then he comes out, he kind of walks up, like, kind of by us, and he's like, oh, you're trying not to pay? And I'm like, what?
And I was like, well, I tried to pay earlier, but...
And he's like, oh, he's like shaking his head.
He
And
was
I'm like, no.
really upset that
he was like,
we were trying not to pay.
And he's like, how much? And I said, well, the guy said 50, but we already paid 10. Well, then 40 then, blah, blah, blah. And so I just gave him $40.
Yeah, he was like
left.
ready to...
And then we hung out with the people for a minute that we were on the bus with, and the guy bought me a beer. It was good, like a local beer.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Oh, another thing about the bus tour, that I noticed on St. Kitts, there's like 50 million little bars everywhere. I mean, like tiny bars that have like 4 or 5 seats in them. Like crazy amount of like just hole in the wall bars like everywhere. So yeah, I noticed that.
The other thing is, if you go to St. Kitts, make sure you get a reputable bus tour, because we saw a lot of bus tours that had nice buses,
right,
with beverages and
so I would go
nice
through,
music,
definitely go through Carnival.
pay a little more,
yep,
and get a nice bus.
See, the reason why we did this is because we had such a great experience in Puerto Rico. They were like, hey, let's just do it again. It was a totally different experience there.
All right, we're
yeah,
kind of rambling on now.
And then also at the end of the video, we said we're gonna give a review of the Comedy Club. Well, we never did because I think we just went to the casino.
It was good.
The PG show was good. Not as good as the Rated R show though. I'll still say that.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to give a shout out to our buddy Matt at the Cruise Geeks Facebook or YouTube channel. We actually did a conversation about this on his podcast, Cruise Geeks. So if you heard that,
we did an overview of our whole cruise.
Right. And so if you heard that,
check that out.
But yeah, check his YouTube channel out. He does vlogs like us and stuff, and he's a great guy. Okay, Cruise Geeks, check it out. Check it out. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.